Well, good evening, ladies. Welcome to the YL Upnet. This is Catherine, AEC4YL, Net Control for this evening's net. We meet every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Airlink OR conference notes. Be sure to invite all YLs you know to join us. We ask that only YLs or female ham radio operators check in and participate. The purpose of this net is to encourage you to become and stay active with amateur radio, help each other enhance our operating knowledge and skills, and have fun. YLs who would like to check in, please give us your call sign, name, and current location. And don't forget that there is a 3 to 4 second delay when transmitting through Echolink. This is Catherine, AEC4YL. We now begin taking check-ins. Please call now.
KC8PKY, Linda, Knox, Indiana.
VE3BHG, April, from Welland, Ontario, Canada.
AE7MB, Margaret, Battleground, Washington.
N1BAF, Betty in Virginia.
This is WA4YL, Dawn in Hudson, Florida.
KJ7CXY, Kathleen in Vancouver, Washington area.
KC9YL, Ann in Wisconsin.
Don't want to double with anybody this evening. I apologize for that. From Carol, Victor Alpha 3 Whiskey Hotel Uniform here in Hamilton, Ontario. Sorry if I doubled with anybody. Over.
Okay, very good. Sorry about that. Let me go through who we have so far. We have Linda, KC8PKY, joining us from Indiana. April, VE3BHG, joining us from Ontario, Canada. Margaret, AE7MB, joining us from Washington. Betty, N1BAS, checking in from Virginia this evening. Dawn, WA4YL, joining us from Florida. Kathleen, KJ7CXY, checking in from Washington. Welcome. I believe this is your first time joining us. We're glad to have you here with us. And KC9YL, joining us from Wisconsin. And Carol, VA3WHU, joining us also from Ontario, Canada. And let's see, do we have any other YLs who would like to check in? Please call now.
Kilo Alpha 1 United Lima November. Nisi, almost sleeping.
All right, Nisi, well, you know, that's okay because you were awake to check in, so we got you in the log, and see Melanie is on here with AC4YL, so we've got you. And I think that is everyone. I see Lauren is connected in, but she might be having it set up to record, and it looks like Judy just joined us in Arizona, so welcome, Judy. We've got you in the log. So I think we've got everybody. Before we start in, do we have anybody that checked in that is time? Please let
Victor Alpha 3 Whiskey Hotel Uniform. Yes, probably bowing out at 9 o'clock this evening, but listening in the meantime. Over.
Okay, good, Carol. Is anybody else short time? So let me know. Okay, not hearing anyone, so very good. Nice group this evening. I hope everybody had a good Christmas and or a good time with your family this season, whatever it is that you you know, like to do this time of year, or if there's anything that you celebrate or not. It's nice to have everybody here. And of course, it's the end of the year, and next week is the 1st of January 2019. Hard to believe that this year has gone by as quickly as it has, but it always gets thinking about what we want to accomplish next year. So I thought what we would do is we go down the check-in list, give everybody a chance to catch us up and let us know how you're doing and what ham radio activities you've been through over the last week, and anything else that you want to share with the group, you're welcome to do that. But then I'd also like you to mention one thing, at least one thing that you are determined to accomplish next year when it comes to amateur radio. And you know, maybe it's learn CW, or maybe it's improve your speed in CW to at least a certain speed, a minimum speed that you have a goal to that you want to achieve. Maybe it's make it to Hamvention in Dayton, Xenia, Ohio next year. Maybe that's your goal if you've never been. Or maybe if you want to go down to Orlando Hamcation in February, maybe that's your goal. Maybe you've never actually participated in an amateur radio field day event in June. Maybe that's something that you definitely want to do next year. Perhaps you've never made contact using a digital mode. So things like that. I encourage you to share that with the group here as we go down the 10 log. So that's kind of the game plan for the evening. And what I'd like to do is, well, let me pause for a reset real quick here. Okay, so as far as ham radio activities that I've been up to over the last week, not too many. I've had a lot going on with work, and so that's been keeping me busy, but did enjoy a nice break and got to spend some time with family over the weekend, the holiday weekend, so that was nice, and it was nice to have a break from work, so that was great. I apologize, my connection's not the best. I do not have top-notch internet connection this evening, so hopefully we'll be able to work through it. So as far as one thing that I definitely want to accomplish next year is I want to make a satellite contact with the help of someone. I'm hoping to get together with Lori and Daryl here locally and help them help us, help me get to know a little bit more and understand a little bit more about making satellite contact. And Melanie is, I think, looking to do the same here. We're trying to get together with them and hang out and have a ham radio day. And then I'd like, Melanie and I have been talking about getting an Aero antenna, and we each already have an HT, so we could certainly get together and then try to make satellite contact on our own. That's my main goal that I'm definitely going to accomplish next year. So that's me. Let me pass it on over to Melanie so she can tell us what she's been up to and what is one amateur radio goal she'd like to accomplish next year. So I will pass it on over to her. AG4YL, AC4YL in the group.
Okay, I haven't tested this microphone with this version of Echolink. Up to nothing working, and I don't know, goals for next year, learn CW. That's about it for me. Back to net control.
Okay, very good, Melanie. Thank you very much for that. Okay, so next up is Linda, KC8PKY. Linda, how have you been, and what do you want to accomplish next year in amateur radio? KC8PKY, AC4YL with the group.
KC8PKY here. Well, what I've been up to is I did get FT8 up and going, so I'm kind of playing around with that and trying to get proficient at that. And I think I'm going to try to do some more DX, both on FT8 and on the other parts of the band if conditions improve. I like playing around with that a little bit. And kind of on our wish list is we're kind of hoping maybe we can pick up an amplifier somewhere. Other than that, just going to do the same old, which is fun. And with that, I'll turn it back, KC8PKY.
All right, very good, Linda, and I'm glad you brought up working some more DX. Perhaps somebody in the group here, if you're thinking about what you want to do next year, maybe you want to make your DXCC. You work 100 different DX entities over the course of the year next year. Also, for you Canadian ladies, there's the, and for everybody really, but there's Canada celebrating their parks next year with Canada Parks on the Air. So that gives everybody an opportunity to work some parks, either by and trying to make contact with as many as you can in the course of next year, or if you live up there, you plan on doing some traveling, to be going and activating a park up there. Even here in the States, of course, well, around the world, really, anybody can go to some parks or entities that are part of either WWFF and the subsidiary in the country in which you live, or through Parks on the Air, POTA. So there's a lot of opportunity and goals that you're thinking about what you want to succeed at next year. But congratulations, Linda, on getting FT8 up and going. That is awesome. You got to feel good about that and make some QSOs that way, even when band conditions are so-so. All right, awesome. Well, next up is April, VE3BHG. April, how are you doing, and what do you hope to accomplish in amateur radio next year? AC4YL with the group here.
AC4YL in the group, this is VE3BHG. Actually, I think the biggest thing I need to do is save up and actually buy a radio. I have my little handheld, and I do the weekly ClubNet, and also I have Echolink, but I have a lovely antenna, and I really would like to get going on that. I would like to get an HF radio so that I can play, because I noticed that there were a couple of opportunities to actually talk to Santa Claus, which I thought would have been a lot of fun. And so, as far as any other, I'm toying with the idea of maybe getting my advanced, but I'm not sure, or maybe doing Morse code. It just depends on how things work, because this year, on a personal level, we're getting our house ready to put on the market so that we can move closer to Windsor. And, when we have a holiday like we do, the kids were able to come down for a few days, so it's always a flying visit, and the house is crazy while they're here, but then it seems so empty when they're gone. So it was one of those things that, when you've lived in the house for 26 years, there's a lot of stuff to go through and get rid of and, downsize and so forth and so on. But ham radio-wise, yes, I'd like to pay more attention to what's going on around me as far as events and so forth. I did get to go to Field Day this year, and that was fun. Maybe get involved in more of the events, such as Canal Days we have in August. There's quite a few Santa Claus parades, but December is usually not a good time for me to try to make other plans because my husband works in retail. So we'll see what happens. But yes, the big thing is save up for a radio and be able to get one of those. So that's so that I can actually do some HF. So that's it for me. And so this is the E3BHG. Back to you, Catherine, the AC4YL. So anyway, there you go.
All right, that's awesome. In fact, it's kind of funny. I was just thinking a couple of things. One, you're not terribly far from Carol where you are right now, so until you get the house sold and move a bit further out, maybe you and Carol can study for your advanced together if that's something that you would like to do. I know Carol's working on studying for her advanced, so perhaps you gals could get together and quiz each other. Another thing, too, is I think Carol still has that Kenwood for sale, and I can tell you firsthand that 450 stat is a fantastic radio, and it's a great radio for you to get your feet wet in HF, and I think you might just fall in with it, not be able to give it up. So I don't know if you want to talk to Carol offline, but it's an excellent radio. Highly recommend it. Very, very easy to use, and I know Melanie is very familiar with that radio, and she borrowed that same model from the club, so I'm sure if you ran into anything between Carol and Melanie and anybody else in the group here that has used that video, I'm sure you could get any of your questions answered. There's also a good Kenwood group on groups.io too. So that's pretty awesome. You could certainly talk to Carol and see if she could work something out with you to look into to get that if she still has it. So fantastic. That is awesome. So just a couple of things that you can think about there, April. Glad you got, I remember you were telling us about your field day. So, field day is always fun, so I always keep that on the front end. Definitely don't miss it, either by going and participating with the club here or, going out. Maybe Melanie and I'll get together and get out and on field day next year. Not sure. We'll have to see how things go. But anyway, great goals there, April, and great to hear from you this evening, and we're glad you're doing very well. Next up is Margaret, AE7MB. How you doing, Margaret? And what is an amateur radio goal that you have for next year? AE7MB, AC4YL with the group.
So good evening, ladies. My goal for 2019 is to go to CPAC, which is our local convention. I have never been, My husband did it one year for one day, and I'd like to go down and do that this year. I would also like to introduce Kathleen, KJ7CXY. She was at our VE session on the 15th, and she passed, and her call sign came in last week, so we want to welcome her to the group. And so that's the second thing on my list, and I can't remember what the third thing is, so I'll turn it back to you. This is AE7MB. Over to, oh, I know what it was. Ladies, start thinking about what your favorite book is, because that's going to be the 2019 certificate. So start thinking about the favorite book. This is AE7MB. Over to Catherine, AC4YL.
All right, awesome. Very good. Well, I forgot about CPAC, of course, for you gals out there on the West Coast side of things. That is, yeah, that's great. I hope to get to go to CPAC one of these years fairly soon. Hopefully, we'll see how things go. Don't know with the way things are going right now if it's going to happen next year. It might wait another year, unfortunately, but we'll just have to see. But yeah, definitely, Margaret, and be sure to share with some pictures with the group if you can. And we'd love to see some of the gals out there. It's I'm not sure if Marilyn goes or not, if she makes it out to CPAC. I think she does. But that's awesome, Margaret. Great goal there. And thanks for the info on what next year's Friendship Award is going to be, the topic. So yes, gals, be thinking about that. And from time to time, we'll leave some time on the net for any gals that want to exchange that with each other and give you a chance to get your 15 in your log to send off for that. So thank you, Margaret. It's great to hear from you, and sounds like you're doing great. And let's see. Next up is Betty, N1B. Oh, I almost forgot. Yes, welcome, Kathleen, KJ7CXY. Congratulations on getting your license, and we are very, very glad to have you here with us. You are more than welcome to join us every Thursday, anytime you can get, right here on Echolink at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, so 5 o'clock in the evening your time, and it runs for an hour and a half. So if you can't get here right off, you can certainly come in a little later. Anytime in that window, you are more than welcome to come in, and we're glad to hear from you, and we'll get to you in just a minute. So be thinking about something that you'd like to experiment with. You may not know just yet, but something to think about. So let's go to Betty, N1BAS. How are you doing, and what's one of your amateur radio goals for 2019?
Nice to hear, everybody. We're going to have a wet weekend in Virginia. My goals are, hopefully, to get my extra. I don't know how long it will take. I'm going to start in January, and maybe the end of the year do something having to do with CW. I'm interested in learning about that. But I have a question. Last week, I wrote down very quickly some websites that were very helpful for YL. And what I wrote, I guess, was wrong because I can't find anything viable. I wrote down ylops.net. I wrote down YLOPS group, and I don't see anything there. I did see YL Ham Radio Operators on Facebook, and it shows several witches riding an antenna. I don't know if that's right or not. So could you enlighten me, please, on this? Betty in Virginia, N1BAS.
Absolutely, no problem, Betty. Okay, so first off, there's a Facebook group called YL space op space net. YL op net. If you do a search for that, that's the Facebook group for net. That might be what the first thing you were asking about. The second is if you go to a website called groups.io, GROUPS.io, not .com, just .io. And then you can do a search for YL space ops. Now, to make it really easy, you can go to QRZ.com, which we commonly call QRZ.com, and you can look up Melanie's call sign, AG4YL, put her call sign in the search box, and her QRZ page will come up. She has a link to the Facebook group and the groups.io group, as well as the YouTube channel for this net that you can listen to past recordings of this net over there. Thanks to Lauren, KC9DHV, who's been kind enough to get that up and running for us. So all three of those links to those are right on Melanie's QRZ page. So that's probably the easiest way to get to all three. So hopefully that answers your question, Betty. Was that helpful?
Thank you so much. I've written all of that down, and I have Melanie's call sign written down as well. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, no problem. Now, as far as getting your amateur extra goes, while you got your pen going, write down hamstudy.org, HAMSTUDY.org, hamstudy.org. Set up a free account, and it will track your progress of taking practice tests and doing flashcards for all of the questions. Now, hamstudy.org will let you only get quizzed on one sub-element at a time if you like. So you're not trying to do the whole test and all the flashcards. You can break it up. Hamstudy.org is an excellent resource to help you study for your amateur extra. A lot of gals have also mentioned the Gordon West book. If you go to arrl.net and go into the store, I believe they have all of his books there. But a lot of gals have found his books extremely helpful as well. Those would be the two biggest things, I think, that will help you study for your extra. I think you could study and pass in a month, for sure, depending on how much time you're able to spend studying. But if you just break those up, do each sub-element until you start getting all of them correct, then go to the next sub-element and then combine them, and then just keep adding from there. So that would be my suggestion for studying for your amateur extra. Now, as far as CW goes, once you get on the Facebook group, the WYL-OpNet Facebook group, we posted several links that we discussed last week on learning CW. The top one is going to be CW Ops and their CW Academy, which has been an excellent tool for a lot of the gals here on the net to study and learn CW. But once you get on the Facebook group, you'll see several links and different methods that we talked about last week as far as studying and learning CW. So I think that will help you as well. Let me pause for a reset. Okay, so hopefully between the WYL-OpNet Facebook group with the links from last week, that'll help you with the CW, and then hamstudy.org for your amateur extra. I have no doubt you can definitely accomplish both of those next year. So awesome, Betty. Well, we're glad to have you on here this evening as well. So thanks so much for being here. And we hope to with us again soon. So, all right, let me see here. Let me pause for a reset. Okay, one last question, Betty. Is your email address updated on your QRZ homepage? We can send you the links there as well for the CW information, if that would help.
I will have to check on that. I think my email is there, but if not, I am going to put it there so you'll be able to help me out, send me any information. And I appreciate any help that I can get. N1VAS.
All right, well, good, Betty, and we're glad to have you here. And Dallas, please feel free to bring your questions. So thanks, Betty, for bringing up your goals, and hopefully those suggestions will be helpful. And yes, if you can update your email on your QRZ page, and maybe let us know next week if you get it up. We'll get you those links, especially if you have any trouble getting on the WILE.net Facebook group. All right. Next up is Dawn, WA4YL. Dawn, how have you been, and what do you hope to do in amateur radio next year?
This is WA4YL. I've been busy with Christmas and preparing for Christmas dinner. Made contact with one of the special events, W2T, which was one of the battle stations that was on the other day, and haven't been getting on the air much because the band conditions here have been so downhill and non-existent at times. I'm lucky I even got 2 contacts this week. Other than that, I've been so busy with other things here. So how have you been? Back to you, Catherine. WA4YL.
All right, very good, Dawn. Well, fun. I forgot. Yeah, there's been several special event stations on over the last week or two. I think April mentioned folks being able to work Santa Claus. Of course, that's a popular one around Christmas time. And then this is pretty interesting. When you worked W2T, Whiskey 2 Tango, Battle of Trenton, Delaware Valley Radio Association. Commemorate the historic battles of Trenton and Princeton. The Delaware Valley Radio Association operates event stations on the days of those battles from its club station. Oh, pretty cool. If you guys want to find more info and check out their really interesting and QRZ special cards, just pull them up on QRZ. Just look up W2T in the search box, and you can check out that QSL card they have. So awesome, Dawn. Well, congratulations on getting through and working at special event stations. Special event stations are fun. So very good. Well, I'm sure you're busy between Christmas and I don't know, maybe some wedding plans. You'll have to let us know as soon as you have a date so we can all come crash. All right, then. Well, very good. And saw that really cool puzzle that Chris got for you. That was really, that was awesome. All right. Let's see. Next up is let's go ahead and go to Carol so we don't run out of time before she has to go. So let's just down to Carol real quick. VA3WHU, how have you been? And what do you hope to accomplish in amateur radio in 2019? VA3WHU, AC4YL with the group.
Victor Alpha 3 Whiskey Hotel Uniform. Good evening, Catherine, and this lovely group of ladies that are here on a Thursday night on Echolink. I really enjoy this time on here. So what do I plan to achieve in 2019? Well, I'm still off work, and well, that's another story now. I'm not sure what's going to happen with this returning to work in the year of 2019, but that's another issue. What do I plan to achieve? Well, everybody knows that I'm really interested in getting my advanced license. I have my basic with honors, and I'm really planning on getting my advanced. So I've got myself a little book that I purchased, and I've been studying online. There's an app that I have on my tablet, my Google Nexus tablet, the Advanced Amateur Radio app. And so I've been studying the questions, and of course there's 4 multiple choice answers that you can pick from. So I try to do an hour to an hour and a half a day on that, and I'm planning on joining the CW Ops. I still have to look that one up and see when the next course for that's going to be. So that's my plan for 2019. In April, if you're interested in that radio, it's still sitting in my rec room. Maybe we could work something out between each other, and it's a great rig. I just don't use it. I have the Kenwood TS2000, I have my Flex 3000, and I have my Yaesu FT DX1200. So, you know, 3 radios. I don't know, you guys have probably got a lot more radios than what I've got. I've also got a handheld that I purchased at the last amateur radio flea market. It's the Yaesu FT/70D. It's a digital handheld. I did look at a YouTube video today on QRZ.com as to how to program this unit. So that's my plans for this weekend. Get this thing programmed and get on the air with it. Did purchase it to do that with, obviously. It's fully charged and ready to go. So that's it for now. It's just started raining here, and we're in for a big rain event. Some people are going to get freezing rain where they are, but for us it's just going to be a big rain event. So thank you very much, Catherine, and everyone in the group, and I'll send it back to regular broadcasting. Victor Alpha 3 Whiskey Hotel Uniform.
All right, very good, Carol. Well, you'll have to let us know once you get your advanced license so we can celebrate with you here on the air. And the next CW Academy training, they run 3 times a year, January, February, April, May, and September, October. So what you do is just go ahead and go to their site, cwops.org, and sign up. In fact, I'll put the actual link for the student sign up in here, and talk to them so they can go ahead and at least get you on the list, because those fill up quickly, and so you'll want to make sure you get your spot in. And if they contact you and tell you you can't do it January, February, you know, you decide that wouldn't work out as well, maybe you needed April, May, sure they could put you on a list for April, May if they have some openings for that. So put the link in there for you for student sign up. You can learn all about the CW Ops Academy there. So April, feel free to check that site out as well. Have access to the Echolink chat. Depending on how you're connected, there's a link for that. But you can learn all about CW Ops Academy. You can also download all the material that they use and tell you exactly what you would do in between, like meetups with your advisor. And so you can actually do those, and if you maybe partner with someone that knows CW that's willing to help you, perhaps they could help you on that end if you can't keep with the schedule that they have. As far as rain goes, yeah, we're getting plenty of that here. Started earlier this afternoon down here in Georgia as well. It's supposed to rain all night, and we even had some thunderstorm activity, which is unusual here in Georgia in the winter. Usually we get the rain or the sleet or the freezing rain, but too often do we get thunderstorms this time of year, but try and stay dry there, Carolyn. Great to hear from you. We'd like to welcome Carol KP4MD, who's on with us this evening. Welcome to the net. We're just going down the list, giving everybody a chance to tell us what they've been up to in amateur radio over the last week or two, and anything that's been coming, and any amateur radio goals that that you want to accomplish in 2019. So let's go to Kathleen next, KJ7CXY. Kathleen, if you're there and you're comfortable coming in and saying to the group, if you just want to introduce yourself and tell us how you learned about amateur radio and anything else that you'd like to share, if you're comfortable doing that. KJ7BXY, AC4YL with the group.
Hi, this is KJ7CXY. My name's Kathleen. I got into this because my husband came home from a trip to Phoenix where his buddy John had him take the test, and he got his technician in general at the same time, and then he said, okay, now it's your turn. And so I got my technician, and I'm studying for the general, and then I hope to take the extra in the next year. Tried to take the general this past weekend, but the VEs never showed up, so oh well, try again on the 5th, which is the next available date that's nearby. Goal for the next year besides doing the testing is I would like to try and contact the International Space Station, because that was the most interesting thing I ever heard. This is KJ7BXY.
Well, that's fantastic, Kathleen. Sounds like you got some great goals for 2019. You'll have to keep us posted on getting your general license, and you know, once you get that under your belt, if it's earlier in the year, you can certainly start studying for your extra while you got that momentum going. But that's fantastic, and I think that's a great work, the ISS. That is a lot of fun. That's cool. So you'll have to let us know when you reach that one for sure. That's exciting. And like I was mentioning earlier, you can certainly use hamstudy.org, great tool to study for your extra. You can use it for your general as well, but if you're feeling pretty comfortable and confident you've got that down, then roll with that. Awesome. Well, we're really glad to have you here with us, Kathleen. Welcome, and we look forward to you joining us whenever you can each Thursday. All right, next up is Ann, KC9YL. Ann, how have you been, and what are some of your ham radio goals for 2019? KC9YL, AC4YL with the group.
Thank you, Catherine. I have been wonderful. I had probably one of the better Christmases I can remember. My kids were both home, one with her husband since August, and just had a wonderful time, did a couple of things, did some chilling, and it was just a very enjoyable 4 days. My goals for the coming year are to get my KX3 running and working portable and have it set up as sort of like a go kit so that I can just grab and go and take it with me. And FT8, I want to get that going and work on my CW speed. I'm actually going to be a CW buddy for a gal that's going to be taking the level 2 class with an instructor that I had previously. He had asked me to do that. He's got all of his classmates for January and February class buddied up, so hopefully that's going to work out well, and everybody that starts will finish. And I will also be going to Hamvention again this year because once was not enough. Back to that, this is KC9YL.
Well, that's fantastic, and so glad that you had a great Christmas break and your kids were able to be there. It's always nice when the family can get together, and sometimes that's hard for folks that don't live nearby. So That's great. That's awesome. And that's some cool stuff. Yeah, the KX is fantastic for working portable. So you'll have to post some pictures once you get your kit put together so we can see how this. In fact, that reminds me, Melanie and I put together a kit for the 480 that I bought. We got a nice case for it to keep in there when we take to work portable. So I'll have to take some pictures and put it on the Facebook group so that you gals can kind of see how that is. It's not perfect. It's a good start, though, for sure, and very well protected in the case that it's in. So so far, so good. We've used it once when we went to Huntsville. So some cool stuff. And we got to try out the Alpha antenna that we had got to play with operating portable too, and that was a lot of fun. All right. Let's see here. Next up is Nisi, K-A-1-U-L-N. Nisi, I hope if you're awake here, hope the knee is healing and you're doing well there. And what have you been up to, and what do you hope to accomplish 2019 in amateur radio? K-A-1-U-N, AC4YL with the group.
Thanks so much, Catherine. It's Nisi from Massachusetts. So the biggest thing is, my biggest goal is I am going to actually be able to hug KC9YL and from Wisconsin. We're going to be roommates at Zinnia. So that is, I'm very, very, very excited to do that. I'm very excited to be with her. We're going to be together, I guess, 4 days in Dayton, Zinnia. So that will be fun. I'm really looking forward to that. And then maybe I'll buy some kits. I think 2019 is the year of kit building. So I'm going to buy a couple kits out there in Zinnia and build some more stuff. I hope I can meet Carol, KP4 Mike Delta. Hopefully she'll come out there. I've never been there. I've been in here, I think, 30 years, and I've never been to Dayton, so this is a first. And for Ann, KC9YL, to meet me there and to be a roommate is a big deal. Just a couple more things on my blog. So I got 2 blogs that I think of interest of some people here. My blog is KA1ULN, Kilo Alpha 1 United Lima November .blogspot.com. And there's 2 things. How to get on digital, and it tells you what everything you need, gives you all the links for the free software. And one other thing that somebody mentioned. I think Carol, yeah. WA3WHU. So right now, the front page of ylrl.org has my list of where to find the YLs in the know in amateur radio. So you can either find that on my blog or you just go to ylrl.org and it's on the front page. You might have to scroll down. It depends on if you use your phone or your tablet or a big monitor. If you use a big monitor, it'll be on the same page. But just scroll down and you'll see where you can find YL nets, YL, this Echolink net is on there, some other nets, some CW nets, some just lots of places where YLs hang out on amateur radio. Happy New Year, everybody. KA1ULN. Back to you, Catherine, and thank you so much. I'm also looking forward to 2019 coming on this net here. Back to you.
Well, awesome, Nisi. So glad that you and Hamvention. I think Melanie and I are going to make it this year in 2019. We didn't make it 2018, but we right now are planning to make the trip up there. So hey, we'll get to see you gals hopefully, and maybe we'll get together and have dinner or sit there and have lunch at the Hamfest maybe. But that's awesome. Looking forward to seeing you gals up there in Hamvention this year. That's a lot of fun. And hey, I think kit building is a great idea for 2019. I'll have to add that to one of my goals I want to accomplish in 2019 is put together at least one kit and have something that works. I'm really interested in those low-power QRP CW transceivers that you can put together. I think that would be a lot of fun. So, awesome! Cool, Nisi. Well, so good to hear from you this evening. 33 Carol here. So glad you're able to be here tonight, and go get some rest. It's good to see you. All right. Next up is Judy. KE7IXI. Judy, how have you been, and what do you hope to accomplish in amateur radio in 2019? KE7IXI, A4YL with this. Well, Judy, if you're transmitting, you're not transmitting, we're not copying anything. At least I'm not able to copy anything. It doesn't look like you are. So I will try to pass this back over to you again, and I apologize if the issues on my end. But we'll try it again. KE7IXI, AC4YL in the group. Okay, still don't have any copy on Judy there, so not sure if it's equipment. Yeah, just step with it, no worries. All right, Carol, I see your comment. You're just listening, not a problem. In fact, we're next on the list. I think we've gotten to everybody. So what I'd like to do then, in that case, is just send it back up to the group. Does anybody? Oh, Susie, I see you in here too. N8DGM. Want to make sure that I say hello to you. And any luck on getting your mic going? I'd like to try and pass it over to you. If you're up and running on your end, we'll give it a try. N8CGM, Ace. Oh, I see a comment in there. Okay. All right, no new mic yet. Okay. Yeah, I hear you on the bills there, Susie. They all seem to hit at once, like when it rains it pours, like it's doing outside right now. All right, yeah, okay. So try and get back on, get 2 meters back up on the air. Okay, awesome. Well, thanks for putting it in the Echolink chat, so we have that, Susie. And really glad to see you in here with us this evening. You'll have to let us know as soon as you're back up and running. So we're glad to have you here as always, Susie. It's good to see you. Okay, does anybody else here have any additional comments or questions for the group that you'd like to bring up this evening? Please call now, AC4YL.
This is WA4YL. Just hoping everybody had a great Christmas, and I hope everybody has a happy New Year. And I hope everybody got what they wanted this year. WA4YL.
All right, very good, Dawn. Awesome. All right. Anybody else also have a comment or anything anything that you want to say to the group, please go ahead. You can call now, AC4WILD. Okay, not hearing anyone, so let me step back here to Margaret's comment earlier about the 2019 YLRL Fellowship Award. So for those of you, we've got some here that are maybe new and not as familiar with it. So basically, you can find out more information about it by going to ylrl.org. And the idea is to kind of help encourage you to interact with other YLs on the radio and kind of help get to know each other. So it's a fun little event that lasts all year, and the goal is to work at least 15 different YLs and exchange information on a particular topic. So as Margaret had mentioned, for 2019, the topic information you're going to exchange is your favorite book. So you can again find out more information on ylrl.org, and it's the annual Friendship Award. I think they've updated this page here. I'm trying to find it real quick, but there it is, easy. Under the second link under activities on the top left, there's awards and certificates to work for. If you click on that, it's the very first one, the Annual Certificate Award. If you click on that, it will give you the details on how it works. And so again, next year it's favorite book, and wow, that looks like a very nice award that Val's put together. So you just exchange your favorite book with 15 different YLs, and all the books have to be different, so you can't have 2 YLs on your list that you send in that have the same favorite book. So if that's the case, you'll just have to work another YL and exchange information with another YL that has a different book. I don't think the odds are that high that you'll run into 2 people that have the same favorite book, but you never know. Let me pause for a reset. Okay, so like any other exchange, you basically exchange your call sign, and then I guess it would make sense to exchange your first name if you don't have information, and your favorite book, and the location of where the person you work is located. So that's what you put. So that's, again, you can find that information. In fact, let me put the link in the link chat for you gals, so you have that. So, read up on it, and we will try to remember to leave a little bit of time when we can on this net to give you gals a chance to exchange and that information and have some fun and work toward that award. You don't have to wait till the end of the year to turn in your log. You can do that at any time by Val, VE5AQ, and her address is on the that web link I just put in the Echo chat, and you can download the application where you can fill out each contact that you make right at the bottom of that page. And of course, if you have any questions, you can reach out to Val. Her email is linked right there. It's just certificate_manager@ylrl.org, but it's a link right there. You can just click on it and send an email if you have any questions. And with that, I'll open it back up to the group. Does anybody have any questions about that or anything else that you want to bring up on this evening?
E3BHG.
Please, go ahead, April.
Okay, I haven't seen Shirley on here for quite a while, but I remember working her this year, was it October, for this special call for the Australian Amateur Radio League, and I was supposed to be getting a QSL card from her, and I don't know if the strike has affected that or what happened. So I just wondered if anybody else had gotten that QSL card from the special call sign for the Australian station. Back to net.
Well, you know, that's a great question. I could tell you I have not gotten it either, but I also don't know how many people they work, so they may have quite a few that they have to send out. But I'm sure Shirley won't mind if you send her an email. Her email address is on qrz.com. So if you just pull up VK5YL, just send her a quick email and just ask her if she's had a chance to send those out, because you want to make sure it didn't get lost in the mail. So you might want to check with her that way. It will take a while because you have to get everybody that they have listed, hopefully, to send that out, and then of course it's coming a bit of a distance. So for sure, if you like, you can certainly check in with her and check and see what the status is of that. So, all right, very good. Good question. Anybody else have any other questions or comments for the net this evening? Please call now, AC4YL. Okay, not hearing anyone, and so we're glad everybody make it this evening. We'll go ahead and close out the net for the evening. But I want to thank everybody for being here with us, and I hope everybody has a great New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and you know, all the amateur radio success for everyone in 2019. Let's have some fun and explore some new stuff in amateur radio. And you know what? Step out of your comfort zone next year and do something that you've never done before. And, you know, be positive about it and find somebody local, either in your local area there or right here on the net, that has a passion for one thing that you would like to explore. And certainly that will help you reach that goal that you have for 2019. All right, don't forget to visit and post to our WILE.net Facebook group and continue topics, questions there between week nets. We also encourage you to join the WILEOpsGroups.io group page and post anything ham radio related, whether it be questions, adventures, photos, over there as well. We'd like to thank Lauren, KC9VHV, for live streaming and recording of this net whenever possible and making it available through YouTube. We'd also like to thank Alara for the use of this Exolink conference node, and all LinkedIn listening, YLs, OMs, alike, for your ongoing support of this net. This is Catherine, AC4YL, closing out the WILE.net, turning the Alara conference node back to normal use. 33 ladies, Happy New Year. Be safe out there. We'll see you next week. Take care.